They all go back to Threshold. Sylvia, however, doesn't have a home. Where should I go? She asks. Doesn't matter, Liz said a bit sharply. Thought you just wandered about the place. You can come back to my place, said Ben. I have a large house with plenty of spare rooms. Mightn't be the most tidy of places. Sylvia smiled and said thank you. Malin, who has seen the inside of Ben's house, just pulled a face and thought Sylvia would probably look at it and decide to stay at an inn. They return to Threshold and go their own way. They'll meet back at the Golden Dragon after a couple of days. Ben opened the door to his home and bade Sylvia to enter. Probably for the first time, Ben saw his own home through the eyes of someone else. It's a bit of a dump, he says, apologising. Sylvia laughed. It does look like the ruin we've just come from. I have a room upstairs for you. It should be in better condition. It's been shut up for years. Ben took Sylvia up the wooden staircase of his fine wooden house. The landing was a narrow corridor with some doors off either side. Ben opens one. This one faces the town square. It gets a lot of light, I think. The room had been shut up for years and was surprisingly dust-free, but it did smell. Ben crosses the floor and opens a window. It jams for a moment. You choose very fine furniture. You have a good eye, was all that Sylvia says. It reminds me of my own home. Your palace probably didn't smell, said Ben ruefully. Sylvia smiles. Admittedly, we had a small army of staff. Ah, goes Ben, making Sylvia jump. Excellent idea. I'll hire some staff. Look at the money I've got. We aren't going anywhere for a couple of days. Make yourself at home, he says to Sylvia as he stomps down the stairs and into Threshold. The town has a public laundry, a large wooden building by the waterfront. Ben went there and asked if they had 3 cleaners available for a couple of days. He offered 2 gold pieces per day each, which was a very good wage. Overly good. Ben's old habit of throwing his money around resurfaced. When he was younger, he was very successful at travelling the lands and seeking his fortune. He would come back to Threshold and be generous with his wealth. However, his generosity always came with a good dose of showing off. The people who benefited from this ought to have been grateful, but in reality, they found it overwhelming and tiring. Even if drink is free, many folk would rather go home when they want to, rather than being obliged to stay late and get drunk just because Ben's generosity made it difficult to say no. One day he overheard people criticising him. He realised that not only did people dislike him throwing his money around, but they didn't actually like him. That evening he went to the tavern and bought 5 flagons of ale. The people next to him expected to have the ale thrust into their hands, with Ben giving them a big smile. It was the beginning of the evening, so a free drink would be welcome. But, much to their surprise, he carried all 5 over to a table and sat there, drinking them all. Ben saw their confused, disappointed faces, and it made him feel good. They'll regret it, he thought. You don't appreciate things until they're gone. So he did it again the next night, and the next. Soon it had gone from 5 flagons to 10. Then people got used to it, so they were no longer confused or disappointed, and that made Ben angry, as they had just taken away his only pleasure in drinking in front of them. The rest, as they say, is history. While Ben recovered from his wounds, his home was washed, dusted and polished. The cleaners left at the end of the second day. Ben stood in the middle of his living room. His long, sturdy table gleamed. Pewter plates, cutlery and candlesticks shone. Grey cushions were revealed to be rich purple and red. Sylvia came downstairs. Her room also looked unrecognisable. Very nice indeed, she said. Ben gave a silent laugh. We'll be saying goodbye to it tomorrow. Will we return? Right, here we are, back again. Still on the first level of Castle Mistamere. This must be our 3rd visit to it. And there are 4 zombies in this room here. We came at them from this time the last time. I think we'll do that again. This seems to be a bit of a tight corner. Right, so we've got 3 melee fighters up front, which is Ben, Donard and our sidekick Carrick. We've got 2 archers, which is Sylvia and Liz. And we have a mage holding a lamp. And they're going to go in at a reasonably slow pace, not the 60 feet per 10 minutes. They're not looking for traps, they're not looking for treasure. So I'm going to say it's a bit faster. And lo and behold, The same 4 zombies are back, waiting here. Now, are we going to turn them again? We always get initiative. Do we get surprise? Do we, on a roll of a 1 or 2? No, we don't surprise them. Yeah, Donard's going to turn them. Right, he has to get a 9 or more. And he fails. That's his go over. Missile first. Well, magic first. And Sylvia has a magic missile. And that does 2 plus 1 is 3. So the damaged one is down to 3. We have missile next. And that's Liz. And she misses. Right, Ben, take on the damaged zombie. He hits easily, and he completely takes it out. I wish he had taken on a healthy one, because he would have completely done the 10 HP needed to kill it. Instead, he kills the one that only has 3 HP. What a waste of a good hit. Right, and then we have Carrot coming in from the side, and he misses. Right, it's the turn of the zombies. Oh, I'm not looking forward to this. There are 3 left. That means there's 2 on Ben and 1 on Donard. And the one on Ben misses. The first one misses. The second one misses. The one on Donard misses. It needs a 15 to hit him, and it throws a 14. It would have done 6 damage. Okay, so it's our turn again. We always get initiative. So, Sylvia, 14 plus 1 for short range is a hit, does 4 damage. Liz is going to go on the same zombie. She does 12 plus 1 dex plus 1 short range is 14. That's AC 5. Yeah, she easily hits and does another 4 damage. That one's down to 2. Right. Donard's going to have a whack at that one. He throws 9 plus 1, that's not enough. Ben is going to take on a fresh zombie. 9 plus 2 is 11. AC 8. That hits them, they have AC 8. And he does 1 plus 2 damage is 3. The one time he hits a fresh zombie, he does 1 damage. He could have taken out the other one. Right, and then our dwarf is coming in from the side, and he's going to go for the one that's on Ben. And he does a good hit, 18 plus 1 plus another 2 for strength. That's 3. That zombie's down to 4. So we've still got 3 zombies left. Oh dear, we could have had 2. First one on Ben. Misses. Second one on Ben. Hits and does 6 damage. They don't hit doing 1, you notice. First one on Donard. Misses. We don't have any healing. Right, round 3. Okay, missile first. There's one with zombie with 2 HP, one with 4, and one with 10. Right, Sylvia, try and take out the one with 2. And she, well, critical miss, but you don't get criticals. Liz, 2 ones. Oh my god. Donard. 10 plus 1 is 11. AC 8. Kills that zombie. Right. Ben is backing off. He's going to swap over to his crossbow. That will be his action this turn. Even though in this rule set there doesn't seem to be actions. Right. And we have Carrick. There's a zombie with 4 HP left. 9 plus 2 is 11. He hits it and takes it out. He could have done 8 plus 2 damage, which was 10. He could have taken out the zombie with 10 left, but there's one zombie left. And it's on Donard. And it misses. Right, round 4. Okay. Missile duty again. Sylvia. Misses. Liz. Hits. And does 3 damage. Donard. Hits and does 3 damage. Ben retreated. He's fumbling with his crossbow. Let's see what Carrot can do. Misses. Right. Let's see what this zombie does. On Donard. 14. Misses. Again, just. It needs a 15 to hit him. Alright. Round 5. We're going through the arrows here. I am keeping a tally. Liz has 60 arrows left. She found 80 on the kobolds. And she isn't carrying all 80. Some of the other team are carrying some for her. Right. Sylvia, this thing has 4 HP left. Misses with a 2. Liz. Hits. 3 damage. It's got 1 HP left. Come on, Cleric. 19. He hits the 1+1. That kills 4 zombies. Okay, it's over. You know, what a hell of a fight. And Ben is down to 2 HP. He's going to go on the back with crossbow duty. So we're in this little room here, which is 35. And we can finally search it. And we find a bracelet, which, when we take it to a jeweler, will be worth 500 gold pieces. I think that's the biggest single piece of treasure we've found yet. That's 500 XP, that's good. 36. Okay, these are more stairs going down. And this is where the zombies, if we had turned the zombies from here successfully, they would have fled into this room, but they didn't. But we're going carefully, searching for traps, resting, and then we're into room 37. And of course we're going to shutter our lantern and creep in slowly in case there's anything in there. And there are 5 kobolds. Now let's see who gets surprise on who. And we surprise them. Okay, and we're going to take the surprise round to try and see how many of these we can take out. They have AC 7, but only 3 HP each. God, my handwriting's terrible. Right. We've got 3 on missile duty. We've got Ben. Okay, he's on crossbows. 10. Miss. Even with the 1 for short range, that's a miss. You need a 12. Liz. Misses. Sylvia. 11 plus 1 is 12. 6 excellent damage. Sylvia. That takes 1 out. Right. 2 melee. Donard. Hits. 2 plus 1 takes another kobold out. And our retainer. Carrick the dwarf. Hits. 10 plus 2 is another 12. Does excellent damage. Creams another kobold. Its head just disappears into its shoulders. It looks like it's lost about 8 inches in height. And that leaves 2 kobolds left. Now we have initiative. They may try to run, but the only place they can run is into this room. So they're trapped. Right, let's see who has initiative. And we get it. They're dead. So, Ben. Misses. Sylvia. Hits. Excellent damage again. Takes one out. Liz. Misses. Donald. Hits. 17 plus 4. 5 dead kobolds. What more could you want out of life? And we search the room, look around, and we find nothing. So we're going into this room 38. It has another statue of a kobold. Liz thinks she'll search for traps because she likes treasure hunting. That's her only motivation, to search for traps on a statue, and she doesn't find any. And there's another door here which is stuck. Ben's going to shoulder charge it. Need 5 or 6 plus strength bonus. It doesn't work for him. Donard's going to give it a go. He gets a 4 plus 1. He shoulder charges it. It doesn't open. This door is firmly stuck. This thing, she's going to try and pick the lock. She successfully picks the lock. I don't know what I'm going to do here because I don't want them to go into this room. She was meant to fail that. Okay, she picks the lock, but the door's still jammed. It must be barred from the other side. This room, it says, do not go into this room unless your party are level 2. Dining hall. The doors to this room can only be opened by a character of level 2 or greater. You should read this entire encounter before starting to run it. So, poor Liz, she successfully picks a lock but can't open the door. Okay. Right, now we have cleared out the entire level 1 of Castle Mistamere. And we're going to make our way slowly back to there. And we're going to go down this staircase here. And what did I think of Castle Mistamere? And that is the red books over and done with. The little introductory cave and the first level of Castle Mistamere are over. So we're now on to modules. And downstairs is the module called Kill Bargle. So that is Castle Mistamere officially over, and with it all the mini tutorial adventures end. We still have level 2 to do before we leave Threshold behind and explore the world. What did I think of it? I liked the setup with the monsters. I liked the carrion crawler as a difficult first fight. Then you have the 10 kobolds, which can be tackled in various ways. Nice contrast between the two setups. The fight with the zombies was well balanced. It can either be devastating or easy depending on dice rolls. And the giant bat hiding in a chimney seemed plausible. I also liked the layout of the castle, as it makes some sense. Level 2 looks like an architect's nightmare. But most of the castle is whimsical and nonsensical. Empty boxes that have voices inside, hat boxes with poisoned ribbons, statues with whirling blades, and enchanted beds. A world where nothing makes sense would drive you to paranoia. Chairs aren't there to be sat in, boxes aren't there to be opened, statues aren't there to be admired. You wouldn't know what you could touch or investigate. So you're left with this weird tension that your characters move 60 feet every 10 minutes because they're being very cautious and looking for everything. But you constantly have to interrogate the DM on the assumption that you're not finding anything unless you highlight it. Is there anything in this strange chest? Does this tapestry look odd? And so on. The enchanted bed could be explained by the fact this ruined castle was once owned by a powerful mage, and that's the kind of furniture mages have. There were several ways to solve that problem. Buying a remove magic scroll was just one of them. The other ways involved items found in other rooms, like the bag of peas and the feather pillow. I suppose if you're playing with several people and they're faced with the problem of enchanted sleeping friends, then they could discuss various random things, probably suggesting some things not mentioned in the book, such as pricking a sleeping person with the hat pin. In essence, it becomes like one of those escape rooms, where there's a riddle to solve with seemingly random objects, and everyone works as a team to solve it, pitching in ideas. Solo play is clearly different. You could roleplay every character and pretend they each pitch in an idea. Unless you're very good at improvisation, that would require some prep work to plan ahead what characters would say. I don't think I could pull that off without it sounding too contrived. If you're faced with situational problems rather than puzzle problems, you're more likely to ask yourself what would the party do next, such as basic decisions: should we go east or west? It's easy to ascribe an answer to party members as though they thought of it. So far I've used dice rolls for simple either or answers. My focus will be playing this as a game. I'm loving the dice rolling and the combat, and I'm enjoying the pen and paper element. And when we start adventure modules that are more story based, things will pick up even more. But let's get on to level 2 of this castle next time.